Use code AFTV20 for 20% off your order with Fireway Pizza. Just click the link in the description below or go to fireway.co.uk now.
AFTV, Turkish, 0-0 at the Etihad. Does that feel like a good result for Arsenal, or missed opportunity potentially?
That's a good question, you know. 'Cause I want to be positive. It's a positive result, in my opinion, especially when you couple it up with the win at Emirates 4 out of 6 against City. We all would have taken that at the beginning of the season. I do feel like missed opportunity because we had chances, but then a City fan would argue they had chances, and they did. You know, Haaland, especially at the end, I don't know what happened. You know, probably cancelled out what happened with Trossard and him not cutting it across for a couple of players running in. So I think it does feel like missed opportunity because we've done so well to nullify Man City. You know, Man City that I've become used to under Pep. Just, you know, free-flowing, creating chances, scoring goals, especially against us and especially at the Etihad. You know, so to nullify them to the point where third game in a row, they're struggling to create chances, they're struggling to score goals against us. You know, across 3 games, they've scored 1 goal against us this season, and that was the one in the Community Shield. That's crazy. So, you know, that was all perfect. It's just in the attack, I feel like the players let themselves down in the moments they had, because there was very few moments. But I think you could look at each player in the attack, in the front 4, I'd say, including Odegaard, and say, at crucial moments, yeah, you kind of fucked up. Probably same can be said for Trossard off the bench as well. So I think, good point, positive, you know, we'll take it. Round 1, in terms of now that it's business end of the season, 10 games, 10 rounds, round 1. It was kind of like a feeler. You know, I think now Liverpool are at the top, and Liverpool probably have the best running, and Man City maybe actually. We've definitely got the worst running of the lot. We've got to, you know, start or continue now landing knockout blows to the teams we need to be, you know, knocking out, which we have done well this calendar year.
Does it change much for you at all this weekend? And not just Arsenal's result. I mean, I expected Liverpool to win personally at Anfield, always do. And a draw, I think a lot of people did say, to be fair. Does that do much to kind of switch things around, or is it still 3-horse race for you? Still
3-horse race. The fear was that, you know, listen, it's Etihad, it's Man City. As much as I was confident and predicted a win and said it's a must not lose, City can pull it out the bag. They got quality players, world-class players, been there, done that. They've got Pep Guardiola, best manager at this time, for sure, one of the best of all time. So the fear was that, you know, hopefully we don't get knocked out, you know, this weekend in terms of the first knockdown. Not even knockdown, because I think if we lost, we'd still be in with a chance, but it would have left it very difficult for ourselves. So I'm just glad that didn't happen. And I'm glad we move on to Luton now at home, which is a perfect chance for us to, they concede goals. Yes, they put up a fight, but they concede goals, and it's a perfect chance for us now to bounce back's not the right thing, but maybe get back into that free scoring form that we was in prior to Man City, and then go into a tough game against Brighton. Look, in the next 5 days, things can change a hell of a lot again. It's 9 games now. It'll be 7 games to go in 5 days, because that's how thick and fast the games are going to come now. So we've done well, you know, quality, nullified Man City, positive point. Has it done much for the title race? Probably given Liverpool the edge, but it's just a fine edge at this moment in time.
Yeah, interesting when you mentioned there the game's coming thick and fast. And I mentioned to James earlier and to Frank about how important it is that our squad stays fully fit. And to be fair, you could see today from the bench, it's not fingering on Eddie and Nketiah and Nelson anymore. We've actually got some quality coming off from the bench there, and, you know, options of Trossard, Martinelli, Partey, Tomiyasu, all that come on today. And you still haven't got the likes of Zinchenko we didn't use. So I think that's going to be massively key moving forward, Turkish. But I wanted to ask you today, because there was a real good battle between Haaland and our 2 centre-halves, and it kind of rolled back the years for me, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. That was old school. Haaland's an old school striker. He's cut from the old cloth. And Gabriel is an old school defender. Saliba's like the Rolls Royce, the modern day, you know, cute on the ball and so on. But Gabriel's that rough and tumble, get dirty. He likes the physical side. He likes the talking shit side. You know, there was moments there where he's just in Haaland's ear, giving it to him.
Love it, man.
And at the end of the game, you know, they showed love to each other. I think you know, the game misses a bit of that for sure. And I'm glad that the referee left them to it. You know, there was gripes with the referee in other places for sure. But I think in terms of the Gabriel versus Haaland battle, I've seen other refs, fumble and crumble under those moments early on, and it kind of ruins the occasion or ruins the moment. The ref just let this continue. Haaland had his bits where, maybe the elbow came up or he was shoulder into the back. Gabriel had his bits, tugging on the shirts and getting physical as well. And the ref just let it go. And yeah, it's a glimpse of the old school, man. I'm glad, I'm glad that it's still part of the game. And hopefully it continues to be, because, in modern day football now, they try to wipe all that out. And I'm glad Haaland, listen, a lot of strikers, especially in modern day, will come off the back of that and end of it, be onto the referee and, make a meal of it, be vexed with Gabriel. He took it on the chin. You won this battle, and it's the third battle in a row we've won against Haaland, but he took it on the chin.
Yeah, he did, man. Listen, final third today. Some frustration. I mean, decision-making wise, I would say. Thoughts going forward today for Arsenal?
I think Jesus is going to get the brunt of it from the first half, or from what I saw in that first half and heard in the live chat and around me on the panel. But in the first half, yes, Jesus, couple moments. I think Odegaard, when he ran onto that loose ball, he should have been quicker with his decision-making. If he cut it in, with the outside of his boot, we would have been 2-on-1 going into the City box. Probably would have scored in that situation. So Odegaard let himself down there. Second half, Odegaard couple times as well. Either didn't release the pass quick enough, or the pass wasn't good enough. And when I say it wasn't good enough, there was a couple where you're like, what's he doing? It was literally straight to the Man City player. Trossard comes on, has that moment, holds the line well. Odegaard gets the ball right. And then, I don't know what it was, man. I don't know, maybe Trossard saw his name in lights, maybe wasn't confident enough to get the ball across with his first touch. We all know he's not the paciest of players, so it was either get it across on your first touch or, cut in and have a shot. Either way, nothing materialised from it. Like I said, Jesus, a couple moments. Saka, non-existent. I wouldn't even say Saka had moments to fumble. Saka was just non-existent, and that's probably one of the worst of the lot because, in terms of expectation in the front line, Odegaard, captain. Saka, star boy. Havertz, most expensive in terms of wages. Yeah, Havertz and Saka Saka was the worst of the lot because he was non-existent, but Havertz at least got involved. But all round from the attack, I expect better. The defence in the midfield and the attack defensively, because as much as Jesus I've talked about now and Saka I've talked about, and Havertz and Odegaard, they worked hard. They was in our box at times defending, they was helping the fullback. So defensively it was a team effort. Offensively, a few moments let us down.
Yeah, no, I agree there, and I feel like there was definitely some frustrating moments, of course, but you could say that for both sides. And I feel like as well, when you look at the opportunity that we've had away and at home, people might look at it positively and negatively. And I wanted to ask you this because I said at the start on I think it was during the watch along, away from home, Arsenal still haven't really been able to show much of a difference in terms of last season at times. But we've lost at St James's Park, we've lost at Villa Park. Obviously, Anfield and Etihad, we haven't lost, but we haven't managed to get across the line. Does that still worry you within this team, or do you still think that you've seen enough progress in terms of our mentality going forward?
I've seen enough progress, but two of the away games stand out to me, and that's Old Trafford and White Hart Lane. And it's always nervy going to those two grounds. It's always nervy. There's something about it, even though we've just turned it around in terms of our format. White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, whatever people call it now. It's still one of those ones, especially we're sitting on the line. Tottenham will want to, fuck that. It's definitely a nervy one. Old Trafford the same. We're still in with a shout. So I think in terms of our away form, I'm happy with it. But there's a couple of grounds that inevitably, even if we won, 16 of 16 away games and it's White Hart Lane next, there'll still be some nerves there. If it's Old Trafford next, there'll still be some nerves there. Historically, there's something between both clubs, Man United and Tottenham, with Arsenal. So, yeah, I think I'm happy with our away form. Brighton will say a lot next week. I expect 6 out of 6 now for the rest of the week, which is Luton, Emirates, Brighton away. And then we'll see where we are, because I'd be very surprised if Arsenal win the next 2, Liverpool win the next 2, and City win the next 2. I think one of the clubs at least will drop points in one of those games. Hopefully it's not us.
Hopefully it ain't us. We're ready for it. Nice one, Turkish.
Nice one.